Is he wearing a mask? Is that a helmet? Why has he got a hat on? These are some of the things that I get asked by the public about the hood. In today's video, we're going to be going through hooding your bird, and I'm going to show you how I hood my peregrine for the first ever time. Now, what actually is a hood? A hood is a piece of equipment that falconers use, and they can be used on a variety of birds: hawks, falcons, eagles, and other things. And it's almost like a helmet or a mask that the bird wears, and it covers up their eyes for a period of time. This here is a hood. They're typically made out of leather, and most of the types have these straps to tighten and loosen them. So what kind of terminology can we expect to be hearing regarding hooding our birds? Now, you've likely heard of the term hoodwinked. That is a falconry term that comes from when we put the hood on and we have tricked that bird into darkness, into being nice and calm and relaxed. When the bird is happy to be hood and will sit nice and relaxed, we call this being good to the hood. If the bird will flick its head all around, if it's really difficult to get the hood on, and if it gets really stressed with the hood on, we call this being hood shy. Why do we actually hood the birds? Now, falcons and hawks and other birds of prey are an incredibly visual animal. If there's something there that they don't like and they can see it, it's going to stress them out. So hooding is an incredibly useful tool that takes away their primary sense, their eyesight, and it puts them in the dark, and it puts them almost into a trance, and it keeps them nice and calm and relaxed. Hooding your hawk can make managing your bird so much easier. Say you're out and about and you're flying your hawk through farmland. The hawk has never seen a tractor before and one turns up. This can potentially be really quite stressful for the hawk. It could even fly off. If you need to cope your bird, or even put a tail mount on the bird, these are potentially stressful procedures. Say you're out on a field meet with several other falconers and you're taking it in turns to have slips and hunt. What happens in between? Whilst one bird is chasing the other, what's your bird going to be doing whilst on the glove? All of these situations that are potentially quite stressful or difficult to manage your bird become so much easier if you can hood it. It becomes as simple as putting that hood on that hawk and cracking on. There are several different types of hood. I use Dutch hoods. So this here is a Dutch hood, and you can see it's got this lovely rounded shape to it. It's got a nice wide opening for the bird's gape, and then it's got these 4 straps on the back. We use the 2 long straps to tighten it up, with the idea being that when the hood first goes on, the bird might still be able to see, so the longer straps let you keep your hands and your face further away from the bird, and then we use the short straps to open it back up. Here is an Anglo-Indian type hood. Ignore the size. This one is for a Harris hawk and this one is for a kestrel. But you can get hoods of all sizes for each different type of bird. The difference with the Anglo-Indian hood is it's got a slightly different shape. You can see it bulges out at the front a bit more. This hood here is an Arab hood. It's an Arab hood with sort of a Dutch style. Now, from the front, looks very similar to the Dutch hood. It's when I turn it round to the back that you'll notice the difference. Rather than the slit that the Dutch hood has got, the Arab hood has got this fabric, almost accordion-like structure on the back. And you can also get slip-on hoods. So these are types of hoods that are typically used with eagles and hunting eagles, and they don't have any straps at all. They're just a nice fit that can be easily slipped onto the head and off. Hooding your hawk is not as complicated as it might look as long as you follow these steps. The bird is held on the glove and the hood is brought to the chest with the opening facing the bird. The hood is then guided up to the bird's chin and rotated so the opening is facing upwards. The hood is then hooked underneath the beak and rotated over the head so the hood is comfortably covering the bird's eyes. The long braces are pulled to secure the hood. To take the hood off, the short braces are pulled and then the hood is gently taken off. Before we get into hooding the peregrine for the first ever time, I just wanted to tell you about my good friends and supporters of the channel at Heritage Hoods. All the hoods I use on my birds are made by Heritage Hoods, and that's because they are just beautifully made hoods. The fit of your hood is incredibly important. If the hood is too big, the bird will still be able to see, and it won't work. If the hood is too small, then it will dig into the bird's face and be painful, and this will make your bird hood shy. So it's really important that you get a good fitting and good quality hood. Here are some of my Heritage hoods. So this one here is for my Harris hog, my female Harris hog, and this one here is for Nolan, the male peregrine. If you're thinking about getting your first bird, or you've already got your first bird, or you have birds that don't hood and you would like to hood them, then contact Ian at Heritage Hoods. I will leave all the contact details in the description below, but I promise you, you will not be disappointed. They are really good hoods and it's really worth it. Making a bird to the hood is possibly the most time-consuming and difficult part of the hooding process. Over the winter, we were asked to take a peregrine. She's a unique bird as she's technically a wild peregrine. She was found tapping on the kitchen window of a farm. When the window was opened, she walked right in. She was taken to a vet for a check who discovered that she's got a bit of a funny hip, so she doesn't stand on the glove quite like a normal bird should. She was then given to a large centre. She cannot be released back into the wild as she shows many signs of being an imprint and would not survive by herself. She was given to us where she has spent time settling in while we waited for the bird flu to pass. She's incredibly keen on the glove, which makes it difficult to wear her and do normal training tasks, so the first thing I'm going to do is train her to the hood. Showing her the hood for the first time, she baited away, but this was expected. I brought her closer to myself in an attempt to stop her from baiting. It's important that the bird is comfortable, so I roll my wrist backwards and forwards to get her to stand up properly. The hood is presented to her chest, so there are no surprises when it first appears. I then move the hood over her beak. Despite her trying to turn her head away, I persist. Once I have the hood on, I pull the straps. I leave her to sit for a couple of minutes with the hood on before loosening the hood. I don't take the hood off immediately after this, as this may encourage her to shake her head when she feels movement, making it difficult to pull the straps in the future. She tucks into a nice piece of food to reinforce the hooding as a positive experience. The second attempt, I use the fact that she is eating and distracted as an opportunity to get the hood on a bit quicker so she doesn't have a chance to look away. That's it, good girl. And then gently pull the braces. We make sure we want to try and pull the braces at the same time and make sure that we're not tugging on her head in either direction. If they are very difficult, you can tighten one up with Nolan, the other falcon that I've got. He's always been a bit funny with the hood, and so when I put his hood on, I have to tighten one brace up with my hand, and then when he's settled a little bit, that's when I tighten up the other one. You really want the hood to be a positive experience. If we start to freak out or do things aggressively or make things uncomfortable, then her wearing the hood will be a negative experience for her, and that's when you end up with a hood-shy bird, and that's what we don't want to happen. There are a couple of methods for making to the hood. Usually, when a new bird is picked up, she will be hooded and left for up to 24 hours wearing the hood in a safe environment, so she can learn to relax and feel safe with the hood on. As this peregrine is already used to life without the hood, if left, she would likely scratch and try to pull off the hood, so I've opted to go for a short and often hooding sessions. To begin with, I'm not going to leave the hood on for a long period of time. Some people do this, some people will put the hood on their bird and then leave it overnight to get the bird used to it. But this bird is quite unique, so I'm not going to go with that approach for her. I think we're just going to do short stints wearing the hood on and off with nice food rewards in between to really get her comfortable wearing it. In my opinion, Hooding your hawks is a valuable tool and it's definitely worth taking the time to learn how to hood and training your hawk to the hood. I'll be continuing the peregrines training with the hood daily. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more falconry and bird of prey related content, then please make sure to subscribe. Also, follow our Instagram.